All right, we want to take a few moments to tell you about one of our very good friends of the show, Aligned Health Center. Aligned Health Center is the first chiropractic biophysics clinic in Northern Ohio serving patients in Westlake. The team at Aligned Health Center helps patients with back pain, neck pain, migraines, ADHD, digestive issues, sleep disturbance, whiplash, scoliosis, and much more. The mission at Aligned Health Center is simple: to help people in Westlake and Beechwood areas achieve the best possible health and overall wellness. They know what it's like to have constant neck and back pain. It's no fun, and they are here to help. And as a special offer for the Oranges Orange listeners, it's you guys, Aligned Health Center is offering a free exam to our incredible fans. That's right, free exam at no cost just for you. So give Aligned Health Center a call at 440-230-6865 or visit their website at alignedhealthcenters.com to make an appointment and to learn more about how Aligned Health Center can help you. Make sure you mention Oranger at checkout to receive the free offer. Again, that's 440-230-6865 or visit alignedhealthcenters.com.
Part of the Press Play Podcast Network.
45-50, 45-40, run, William, run! He's got blockers in front, 5, touchdown! Joshua Cribbs turns disaster into a score! Kick block! They blocked the kick!
Hi, this is Holly Wetzel. We are back for another episode of the Oranges Oranger. I'm Holly Wetzel. He's Tyvis Powell. We got Taj as the producer. Go ahead.
No. That's the beginning. That is the beginning. This is it. You just introduction for the podcast. So, hi everybody.
That's my Holly invitation right there.
That was pretty good. I mean, that was pretty good.
Oh man, you keep it like you pretty much got the same thing, so I kind of know it now. So Well, go ahead.
Is that? I try to keep it pretty like.
No, you got to be like this. You got to go. What's going on, world? It's your boy Tyvis Powell back here with another episode of the Oranges Oranger. I got Hollywood, aka Holly Wetzel, with me, and the man in the place to be is Taj behind the scenes, making everything possible. We are here to talk about the Browns with Baker coming back into town. Holly, what's your thoughts?
Wow.
See that?
It's like you've been doing this a while now, Tyvis. Are you?
It's off the top of the head. No, it's just off the top of the head.
Wow, off the top.
literally just flowed that off the top of the head. I should have been a rapper, man. If I could come up with stuff like this off the top, who knows? If I'd have just applied myself on rhyming, I'd have probably been all right.
Well, that was our intro. So, hi everybody, and I don't know. We might have to keep that audio, Taj, of Tyvis pretending to be me. That was fantastic, actually. Well, guys, it's game week. It is game week. We are here. It is time. We have waited.
It really felt like it's been like a few lifetimes.
I know.
This off season, it's been so many roller coasters, so many uncertainties, but man, it's finally here. And with that being said, I hope that they go out there and play their butts off. They'd have been through so much just to get to this point. And a lot of it was they didn't ask to be in that position, but like it's finally all about football for once. Like for this whole offseason, there's been so many other variables with the whole Baker stuff, with the whole Deshaun stuff. And it's like, man, finally they're going to make it to a Sunday where they get 4 hours to just focus on nothing but football. And that's got to be relieving to them. And I know they got to be like a ticking time bomb. I mean, the only way I can compare it to something would be, in college when I lost my starting quarterback in training camp. I mean, I watched our odds go from us being a favorite to win the Natty to like 100-1 type thing. So I'm pretty sure they see that and they feel the same way, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see how they come out. I think they want to go out there and prove to the world that it don't matter who's at quarterback. Like we got, Joe Batoni started the Cleveland against the world. So as long as they keep that model and they all play for each other, they'll be in a hostile environment. All the Baker Bros will be there.
You see that T-shirt? We got to talk about the T-shirt.
Yeah, what he selling them for? $38? $38 for the off the leash.
He couldn't. I don't know if he could even give them away here. I don't. Well, actually,
the sick part is they probably sold out.
They did, and then they did like a restock. Like last week when we were talking to Tommy Garrett, we were talking fantasy football stuff. We ended up getting into our Baker discussion, and I was really trying to like stay above the fray. I like really wanted us to stay above the fray. I didn't want to like give in to his antics and stuff, but it is so hard. You come out with unleashed, like what, off a dog collar? Like
that got to you.
It did. I don't know why that did, but it did. That piece. He is.
You know why? I'm gonna tell you why it got to you.
Okay.
Because he's been in the media all this time since he's got traded to Carolina. He's been in the media trying to downplay it, and he's actually been saying some pretty good answers. And then he comes back with this T-shirt. And it's like, well, there it is right there. Why are you trying to play these games? Or you trying to paint this picture like you've changed and you've matured, but you're still the same guy?
Yeah. He's 100% the same guy. He's an asshole. Like, he just is. Regardless, that's his personality, and that's fine. Like, good or bad, whatever, take it or leave it. That is who he is. And that's been the problem, I think, with I know my personal problem has been the things I've loved about him are the same things I don't like about him. And it was a really hard couple years there with him because it was really frustrating. Because it was someone that you loved that was really would frustrate you, and it was hard to love the good and the bad. And at the end of the day, I mean, he has become such an enigma here, right? And he is now going to in Charlotte. And I know that Matt Rule came out recently, was like, oh, the hype isn't around Baker, it's around Christian McCaffrey, and it's around, Shaq and all those guys. So he's saying, but that's not true. Okay, it's not true. The hype is around Baker.
Big game. It's a
huge game. Like,
it's a very big game.
And I know that he's trying to diffuse. Like, what is he going to say? But it's just going back to the shirt thing, because now I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent here. But it made me mad. It just did. It made me mad. It fueled me up. Now I'm ready. Like, now I do want a little bit of revenge. I want Myles Garrett to back lunch status. Tyvis, this is going to be a down and dirty game. It is. It's going to be an ugly, down and dirty game. That's it.
I think listen, everybody knows what is at stake here, and he can downplay it all he wants, but at the end of the day, the facts are the facts. We know what it is. We know what it's going to be when they get out on that field, because whether either side, the Browns or him, wants to admit it, there was something there in that locker room where people kind of did disagree with him, and he kind of lost the team for a little bit. And
did you see John Johnson's quotes? He had a couple quotes about the taking of the sides between OBJ and Baker.
No, what did he say?
I'm gonna have to look it up, but he basically said that that the guys were taking sides between the two.
That's evident. I would say it seemed like it was.
We've really heard it, right?
It seemed like a 98 to 2% type.
Yeah, thing. But they haven't talked about it, right? Like, now it's
nobody ever came out and said it, but it was evident.
No.
Social media nowadays tells a lot. Like, it paints the picture for you. Like, and it's sad how much you can learn off of just watching social media, but it paints the picture.
Do you feel like they now, since so much time has passed and they are facing him this week, that they do feel obviously more comfortable to start sharing those type of things with the media?
Yeah, I mean, it's water under the bridge now. So it's like, now I'm sure as time goes on, which it won't be brought up because this is the only time that they'll play him. So unless they see him in the Super Bowl, but that's so down the line. That if people talk about it now, you know, they'll I think they would give more information now than they did before because it was such a hot topic. And if you ever noticed, the Browns players are pretty, and they're trying to be more like the Patriots, where they don't try to give the media too many answers. I think Kevin Stefanski does a great job of just giving them
That drives me
plain.
nuts. It drives me nuts.
But that's the thing though. So you always look at the coach, and the coach is the driving factor behind the culture of the team. So if you ever notice, if you don't ask him a question, but you ask one of his people on the coaching staff, they all are just like him. They give very plain vanilla answers where you don't get a lot. And it trickles down to the players. You ask players questions, same thing. But as time goes on, your personality comes out of you, and it sometimes takes over. And it's like, you know what? I'm gonna be me for this interview, and I'm relaxed, I'm loose, so I'm gonna just say what the real is, and that's how people get the answers that they've been looking for. So I think that's why with John Johnson, it's like, oh, I could talk about it now because it's been so long, and who cares? We about to do this game, and then it's all over with. Nobody cares anymore. So I think that's where they're at with it.
And I think COVID probably played a big part of that, of just the access. You know, I've a lot of different Jason Lloyd, other guests we've had on here have talked about how they haven't been allowed in the building for so long, right? And so getting those relationships really started, and he talked about in one of his column when he had him on about how he really didn't have a relationship with Baker because of everything. Like it just So I know that played also a factor in probably putting up that wall, like literally, like figuratively and literally, right?
Well, I mean, it's when you
in the media,
when you playing football, it really is two different worlds. Like the offense got their own thing and the defense got their own thing. So when he said that last year, like I think he was in the exit meetings where it's like we were in a tight group like that, like we didn't really kick it with each other outside of the facility. Like one, COVID played a part in that for sure, but to be honest with you, it's not too many defensive players that really hang out with offensive players like that to begin with, because it's y'all speaking two different languages. So, I mean, that wasn't that surprising, but it seems like that this offseason, they made it their business to start hanging out with it, starting with the Deshaun Watson trip to, where did they go? Bahamas or wherever they go.
Yep.
It started with that, where all of them started to hang out more, because that does, as silly as it sounds, I do think that makes a team stronger when you start bonding, because now you learn about somebody's family and you learn about their background and their history. It meant like winning and playing hard for that person means more. Like it's not just about me. Like now I'm thinking, man, he got kids. Like he this is how he feed his family. So I got to make sure I'm on my stuff so he can be good as well. So he don't have to worry about doing my job. Then he looks bad and now he can't feed his family. Like it's a lot of stuff that trickles into it that a lot of people don't think about on a day-to-day basis. But when you get to know somebody and you get to learn about their family, it do make you play harder, because now you're not doing it just for yourself. You're actually thinking about his family and his kids and stuff. So yeah.
That's a good transition into, I wanted to really talk about motivation. You know, motivation, I think, is playing obviously a major part on both sides. And it's no secret that Baker thrives on it. That's, again, just who he is, and we've gotten to know him very, very well. Where would you rate the motivation, I guess, when it comes to really having an effect on a win with this game, or just in general when you've gone up against your rivals, gone up, that motivation leading into it? Do you feel like it makes a major difference?
Yeah, you almost made me cuss. Yes, it does. Yeah, because it matters to you, and you want to make sure you're putting out your best effort because of the magnitude of this win. Like your organization, talking about the Browns player, your organization all came together and said that this wasn't the guy, and they decided to move on from this guy and even take on a guy with baggage. Like and is okay with that. And then you get to meeting the new guy that comes in talking about Deshaun, and you like, man, I like this guy. Like we're having fun. It's a different energy. It's a different vibe. So now it's like we need to make sure that we show the world that this was the right move that we needed to make. So that's the motivation in itself right there. Plus, you know how you know how Baker is. Like, you know what comes with it. If he wins this game, you know it's going to be some extra stuff. So to avoid all of that, we need to go out there and be on. The good news is that we've seen this man for the past 4 years in Cleveland, and we know what to expect. We know his tendencies. We know what he can and cannot do. We have to make him uncomfortable. And like I say, as far as the D-line goes, they need no more motivation. I mean, it's Baker. It's Baker. So it's going to be a tad bit more strain on them on effort trying to get to him.
And we know, and you just said, like we know him. Obviously, we've known him for the past, was it 4 years, 5 years? And he obviously knows us, but would you say the Browns have the upper hand? I mean, I would feel like I feel like the Browns definitely have the upper hand in this situation of like kind of knowing each other's tendencies, right? Knowing how each one is going to respond or operate. I mean, if we know Baker's strengths and weaknesses very, very much.
It should.
I don't want to take away that he knows a lot, obviously, about clearly with how the Browns operate and stuff in the offense, but I do feel like the Browns have an upper hand in this situation.
Well, the Browns have an upper hand in this situation for one reason and one reason only, and that's really because his offensive line is not good at all. That's the huge advantage that they have. I mean, they got a rookie who's never played in the NFL outside of the preseason starting as left tackle.
How do you say his name? It's like,
I don't know, and I'm not even going to attempt to butcher his name on here. You said it's Prince Akeem off of Coming to America.
Oh, I love
he
that.
He got his own money.
I said not Hakeem. I said Akeem. It's Ikem. Myles Garrett is going to just.
Well, see that, and that's the thing. See, but you can't necessarily say you. That's what we think. I mean, it is a big ask of going against Myles Garrett as your first NFL start. So Myles should welcome him into the NFL. Right, very right. But that's the thing. So, but if he does get some success on Myles, like that's gonna be the confidence booster that he needs. And outside of that, that's the number one problem is that their offensive line is terrible, and our defensive line. I mean, we got some really good defensive linemen on there, so they should be able to get pressure on Baker. It's all about how he maneuvers in the pocket. Now, Matt Rule is no dummy. What he's going to do is he's going to roll Baker out of the pocket, probably try to have them tight ends chip block just to buy him an extra time. And
how much time do you think he's getting?
He needs at least 3 to 4 seconds to get rid of that ball.
Yeah.
That's the rule right there. 3 to 4 seconds. Anything after that, you on your own. You on your own. You better get rid of it. So
it's so evident last year.
I think he knows that. And Baker, after holding the ball, because that was his downfall last year. He held the ball a lot last year. And he knows that. He knows he got to get better with that. So it'll be interesting to see if he cleans that up. And it's all about his receivers getting open. I mean, which is against this secondary, that's going to be a tough ask. So I would play them extremely tight. And just depend on my pass rush to get coverage sacks.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of running in this game, which is fine with me. Didn't see enough of it last year. I want to see, Nick Chubb wear him out. I mean, that's what
we think. Hopefully Kevin Stefanski wised up from last year. I think
especially with this matchup though, right? I mean, I feel like it's gonna be running on both ends. I mean,
you would think the ultimate X factor is still CMC and how they go about covering CMC. Are they okay with JOK just checking him man to man? I mean, JOK is a great athletic linebacker for sure, but like CMC is really good at his position. So it'll be interesting. Do you take a safety and do it? Because I know playing in San Francisco and in Seattle in this defensive scheme, it is a way where you can have your safety be the one that plays man on the court on the running back if he becomes that much of a problem. I know that because I've done it. I did it when I was in San Fran. I actually played. We went against the Raiders, and they had a running back that came out the backfield who was nice, and I had to check him. So I know that there's in the back pocket. It'll probably be like J3 or something like that. So it'll be interesting to see how they do that. That's the one.
Yeah, I know that's gonna be a good matchup. And then speaking of safeties, Delpit, he had a great start last year before he got hurt. In the 7 starts, he had 66 tackles, interception. So what? That's almost 7 tackles a game he was averaging. I mean, I'm excited to have him healthy back and hopefully ready to roll.
Yeah, Joe Woods has got to cut him loose a little bit more. He got a lot of weapons on defense, and last year he was very passive in it, and I get it because you got Jadeveon and you got Miles. Why do you need to blitz anybody when you got 2 guys that's very hard to check anyways on the defensive line? So let's keep more people in coverage. I think this year he has to take a little bit of more chances because with JOK and even Dale Pitt being a great blitzer, you'd be remiss if you didn't utilize them the way you should. So it'll be interesting to see how much he heats Baker up in, because like I said, they're going to find a way to get him out of the pocket, because not just because that's where he thrives at, but because he's short, he can't really see over this line. So they got to find a way to get him a clear vision, and that would be to roll him out of the pocket. So be interesting to see if I was him, I'd throw like a corner blitz in there because he rolled right into the blitz. So that'd be a great call to call. It'd be interesting. It would be like, think about it. He rolled it out and boom, your blitzer is coming from that side. So be interesting to see that. But it comes down to Kevin Stefanski and how he learn a lesson from last year, because he leaned on the run game, but once they put 8 people in the box, like he kind of went away from the run and never went back. And that's the problem. Like, you go away from it, you use the run to set up the pass, especially for Jacoby Brissett. You want to make the picture as clear as possible, but you can't forget about the fact that you have 2 running backs that you can feed. So it'll be interesting to see if he goes back. He just needs to keep switching it up, balanced attack, run, pass type thing.
And I think that I think last year, the more I think about with him and the complaints surrounding him not running the ball enough, it did, obviously, looking back. I know we talked a little bit about how it was, Baker, but I really think it was because he really wanted to put Baker out there. I think he wanted to leave him kind of high and dry and see.
I said that too, but then if you go back and look at it, Holly, like if you got 8 people in the box, you can't run the ball with 8 people in the box, and people forget that defensive coordinators are like PhDs at this. So like if they're running the ball and their quarterback is hurt and can barely throw the ball, yeah, I'm gonna stack the box. Yeah, we're gonna stack the ball. We're gonna take away the number one thing that they could do, and try to make him beat us with his arm, which he showed last year due to his injury he could not do. So it put him in a tough position.
I know it. I think at least with this matchup, it's going to be heavy running. But I do think, though, when I think back about last year and all of just the shit that's come out since, nobody was doing anybody any favors.
No, I don't think so either.
At all.
I was the one that said they put him back out there. So when they made the move to move on from him, nobody it wouldn't be no animosity, because it's like, we showed y'all what he was like. Here we are bringing a guy in better, and it makes it justifiable due to the fact that how he played. But apparently it still was a 50-50 split, and it's always going to be a 50-50 split on that. And I guarantee you the first play of the game, call me Tony Romo, the first play of the game on Sunday is going to be a play action pass. Guarantee. Because everybody in America knows that he's supposed to run the ball. And guess what he gonna do? Play action pass.
I wouldn't be surprised.
If it happened, I'm gonna be like, didn't I say it? I know him like a book.
Well, and hopefully the Browns then do too. Speaking of Charlotte, do you know I'm going? Have we really talked about this? All right, we will be right back. We're going to take a short break, and then we're going to talk about me on the way to Charlotte for the game.
Hey, this is Chase Smith, and I'm here to tell you about our wonderful longtime friends over at Aligned Health Center. Did you know Aligned Health Center is the first and only chiropractic biophysics clinic in Northern Ohio? There is no other chiropractic clinic in the area that does what Aligned Health Center does. Let me tell you all about them. And I should know, I just went to them last month and they were incredible. From the welcome staff to the technicians and the doctors, it was an incredible experience. And I know you're going to enjoy your time there. Chiropractic biophysics is a technique that actually reshapes the spine and restores it to its original correct position. At most chiropractors you go in, you just get an adjustment and you're left with that short-term relief, but it's not actually fixing the underlying structural issues. But at Aligned Health Center, they actually aim to correct the structural issues and provide long-term relief to their patients. I'm talking about back pain, neck pain, migraines, ADHD, digestive issues, sleep disturbance, whiplash, scoliosis, and knee pain. Yes, that's right. They can even help correct lifelong knee pain. And it gets better. They're opening a huge, brand new state-of-the-art facility in Westlake. It's going to look so, so nice. I saw the floor plans. It looks incredible. You're going to love it. And in addition to chiropractic biophysics, they also offer regenerative medicine, which is a way to help rebuild cartilage in various joints and help reduce pain in places like knees, shoulders, wrist, and even your lower back. You can check them out online at alignedhealthcenters.com. That's Aligned Health Centers with an S, alignedhealthcenters.com, or call at 440-385-7357. Again, that's 440-385-7357 to schedule your exam. We will put the website and the phone number in the show notes of this episode.
Hey everybody, it's Sam Amico from Cavs on the Break NBA podcast. Be sure to give us a listen for all your Cleveland Cavaliers recaps, analysis, breakdowns, draft talk, free agency. The list goes on and on. Give us a listen, Cavs on the Break NBA podcast.
Looking for new insights on the Cleveland sports scene with a unique side of Cleveland sports history? Then you found the perfect podcast. I'm John Sable.
And I'm Scott Sable, and we're hosts of the Sable Brothers on the Baseline podcast, a podcast about Cleveland sports, but not your typical podcast about the land's sports teams. Join us as we embark on a journey of sharing a unique and historical side of Cleveland sports history with the help of some former Cleveland sports stars and other historical figures.
All right here on the Sable Brothers on the Baseline podcast, part of the Press Play Podcast Network.
All right, we are back on the Orange is Oranger Cleveland Browns podcast. And Tyvis, I don't know how much I've told you, but I'm going to Charlotte.
Not only are you going, you said you was on the field.
I'm getting credentialed. I'm cool.
Man, I can't even pull that. That's woo.
Yeah.
Hollywood in full effect.
I was texting me today, Taj, and said that he's like maybe next time, or maybe my next up, because Tyvis is just, his career is just continuing to blossom every week.
That's not true. That is not true. I'm on a treadmill, Todd.
Yeah, on an incline.
I'm on a treadmill.
On an incline. That he's like, oh, my next step will be getting like credentialed and being on the field and stuff. And I was like, you played on the field. What are you talking about?
That was way back when. That's the Old Testament.
How many years ago has it been since you've been like 3
in the NFL?
Yeah,
3, 4. 19 was my last year. 1920 was the last year.
All right. It wasn't
4 years.
20 years ago. I mean,
it's the Old Testament, you know. So much has changed.
Well, now we're in the New Testament. Yeah,
it's the New Testament.
I'm going down on Thursday. I was going anyways. I have a brother that lives down there, and I was going to go down and hang. My younger brother was going to come from Chicago, and we were going to have a good weekend. And so it's working out. We're actually broadcasting some live shows on Friday and Monday. And then I'm going to the Browns backers party on Saturday night. I'm very excited about this. 69. I'm going to be amongst my people. So
partying in Charlotte.
Yeah. It is going to be
you know what I'm doing Saturday?
What? Oh, I know what you're doing Saturday.
I have a very full schedule, actually. This is big.
So Taj, I don't know if you know this, but I'm a rising star. So please tell us your debut.
I have to do a pregame show for first the fans. So I have to wake up we start at 6:30 to 8:30 is the pregame show. Then I have to go run.
The background for.
No, this is for 97.1 The Fan. This is the Columbus race. So then after that, I gotta run down the street and do Big Ten Network. We going from 10 to 12. We doing the pregame tailgate show. Then after that, I gotta run to the casino where I'm doing the watch party. So it's gonna be a long, big day, but I'm making my Big Ten debut.
What do you maybe we need to hit up Tommy Garrett for some caffeine advice. What are you gonna be on to get you through all
Life.
this?
I'm gonna be on Life.
Do you drink coffee? Do you drink caffeine?
No, I'm not a caffeine drinker. I drink water. And when I want to spice it up, when I'm feeling sexy and I'm feeling myself and I want to party, drink lemonade.
What do you get, a sugar high?
Yeah, a little bit lemonade, man. Make you smack your lips. Yep. So give me a couple. Ready.
My coworker asked me, we were talking about we were all flying together. Okay, so this is going to be just quite a scene. And my coworker was asking me about how he's like, oh, are you a snacker on the plane? Like, what are you? And I'm like, I'm a drinker on the plane. Like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I'll break the rules. I'll bring a little airport bottle, that plane's going down. I'm going to feel good until it hits the ground.
No, see, you doing it wrong. No, if the plane goes down, you go to sleep. And when you wake up, you just be in heaven.
Right. I'm going to crash a couple airplane bottles as we're going down.
Well, ain't that's the Old Testament, too. They don't do that no more.
What?
Planes don't crash like that.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
I have a very intense mind.
Don't speak. You scared?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I have intense fear of flying.
Wow.
I think the plane's going to go down all the time. I do a lot of have a nice life texts when I take off. No,
see, you speaking it into existence. There's power in the tongue. My mama tells me this all the time. There's power in the tongue. You just be cool, It's just
I started this daily motivation thing on Alexa for my app, on my Echo thing, and she's been giving me daily affirmations.
Anyways, back to this Cleveland Browns thing.
What
is your final score predictions?
Well, I want to get to that. We're going to end with that, Tyvis, because I have a couple other questions that's going to lead into that. So
okay,
we'll get to that.
Shoot it to me.
All right. We already kind of talked about what matchup you were most looking forward to, and I'm with you on the CMC and JOK. Look at those 3-letter matchup situation. That's great. What are you most looking forward to in general for the game? And what are you most worried about?
Okay, so what I'm looking forward to is I want to see if the defense is going to be I feel like they got the chemistry down last year and they finished the season very strongly, even with Myles Garrett being hurt. So I want to see them basically pick up where they left off, because if the defense is playing well, the offense can figure it out. It buys times for the offense to figure the things out. As long as you keep them off the board, 3 points, maybe if you give up a touchdown, whatever, keep it within 10 points. It gives the offense a chance. So I want to see if these guys, knowing that the weight is going to be on their shoulders, because this team will go as that defense goes. They have to be the heart and soul of this defense. Of this team. They carry them until at least Deshaun gets back. So that's the number one thing I want to see. But the thing that concerns me is still the play calling. Once the box gets stacked, because it's going to get stacked, do you trust Jacoby Brissett enough to just open the playbook and call regular plays, or is he limited to certain things? I think
he's going to be limited, right? I think you do trust him to that, right? He's a good, solid backup.
No, because
these short throws, it's not going to be anything. He's not throwing.
He kind of impressed me a little bit with some of the throws he was making in the last game. Like the one he threw the shorts down the field, it was an accurate ball. He obviously just dropped it. So I don't think his arm strength is really that big of a problem. I think he is just
the accuracy though is what we're going to be missing. I know you said on that play, but we didn't get to see enough too, which is kind of frustrating.
They made it very well. One, you don't want to show a lot in the preseason. That's one. And two, they was just calling routes so he can show everybody that he has the ability to go through his reads and make the right pass. And I thought for the most part he did such a thing. As long as the biggest X factor on this season is really Donovan Peoples-Jones. And a lot of people don't talk about it. We know what Amari Cooper go do. Coop go do his thing. But the problem is everybody knows the same thing we know. Defensive coordinators know that guy is the problem right there. We have to have a plan for that guy. If DPJ can beat his man one-on-one, which he will probably get a lot of, they'll be successful. I mean, he's a big body receiver. He's going into year 3. It's time for him to really take that next step. And at this very moment, he showed a couple of flashes, but he has never been consistent with it. And now they're going to depend on him this season. So he has to be the guy that steps up and make these plays.
And he was under some shadows, right? I mean, up until now this year, this is his opportunity to step up and show. I mean, it's funny you bring him up. I am looking forward to watching him and hopefully seeing him shine this year. And I know we've already talked about Njoku shining this year. There's a couple guys that I'm looking forward to, hoping that are kind of going to come out of that shell, that box, and
they're gonna have to. If they want to have a successful season, they're going to have to do it too.
Right.
Because you have to. Kevin Stefanski, I'm not asking him to be perfect all year. You have to find a way to win 11 games until your quarterback comes back, because he opens up your whole entire offense and everything that you plan for. So you have to find a way to win each game. It's not going to be the same at all, but you have the necessary weapons to get it done. You got Amari Cooper, who's one of the best receivers in the league. You got 2 running backs. You got Njoku, who's very athletic. You got Felton that could come in and be a gadget guy. Like, you have it, but it's going to take you to be creative you have to win a different way every game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, these guys are going to have to step up. I mean, there's no other way around it. And it's for us to, we have to do just enough, right? Like, we got to do just enough to get us through. I mean, where do you see our record then at this point before Deshaun does come back?
11.
Are we going to be over 500?
11-0.
What's in that lemonade?
Nothing. Sugar. Anyways, no, to be honest, I could see 7-4, 6-5, something like that.
So you're over 500. You're
yeah. I could see it over 5. But if one injury and it could go all the way left.
I don't think we will be, but I don't think we're going to be totally out of it either. I have faith in Jacoby to do just enough. And if everyone else steps up and does more and he does just enough, then I think we're going to be in a good position.
At the end of the day, it comes down to the defense. They got to hold these teams.
Oh, yeah, I know, and especially
14 and under, which is a tough ask in the NFL.
Well, it's going to be really fun.
It
especially
is
this first game.
It's going to be. You know what? If a hidden thing another thing nobody talks about is that we need Felton. If he is the returner, the special teams need to make some plays this year. Last year they was non-existent at all. If you can score a touchdown or at least get a big return, like that helps the offense. I think they have to find a way to help the offense in every asset of the game, whether it's a defensive fumble return or a pick six, something. You got to get these guys in position to score as much as you can. And even going 3 and out helps because it flips the field. So
right. Well, yeah, and also on top of that, just being smart, right? Like, we had so many penalties last year across the board. I mean, it's and I know that's on coaching too. So it's being smart and not making those stupid mistakes that are going to cost us a lot. And it's a lack of discipline across the board, in my opinion. And I think that these guys need to, have a little bit better leadership on that front, because those are stupid. Like, don't make them. It's dumb.
You get anxious, especially in this first game.
I know, but
I would not be surprised if it's some penalties in this game, because especially like everybody's gonna be eager to go. Like the adrenaline's gonna be rushing.
Be in the first brawl.
Nobody's gonna fight. Nobody.
Not like a full on, but like in each other's faces. Who's it gonna be?
I'm pretty sure if Myles Garrett get to him, he gonna say something. I could see it being like a Jadeveon. I could see him getting there and saying something to him. And Baker try not to react to it. He'll laugh at it. That's what he'll do. He'll laugh at it.
Wow.
He'll laugh and point like this guy, like that type of thing. But I think they're gonna get after him for sure. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Baker's gonna be I could see I would like to see him and Miles. I think that's what I would like to see, whether or not that's going to actually happen. I would like a little bit of a tiff there. I'd like a little bit of shit talking back and forth between the two that's evident to us, right? And these players better be mic'd up. Fox, if you're listening.
You hilarious. That's that.
I want those mics on.
Tonight. You're gonna be on the field. You should be able to,
I'm so excited.
Okay, I know you are. You're gonna be on the field.
When I text you, what should I wear?
Yeah, you did. Hilarious.
It's like I don't know what to wear. What do you wear on the sidelines?
Go down there with some sweatpants and some flip flops.
I know. Well, only for the pure fact that it's going to be hot as Hades down there. So I just
I mean,
figure that whole thing out.
People might fall out with cramps and all kind of stuff. That's what happened.
Maybe they can check out my hip when I'm down there. The athletic trainers give me some.
Your hip hurt?
Huh?
Your hip hurt?
I told you about my hip.
No, you didn't.
I gotta get an MRI on my hip.
Wow.
It's my bleachers.
I gotta get on the MRI too soon. Actually,
Where?
I'm going to
or what body part, I should say.
I'm going to Orlando, and it's on my quad, because I got quad tendonitis and it won't go away.
Ooh.
It like hurt, like my knees be hurting.
Are you still working out every morning?
Yes.
No, I know. I was still going with my they think, what's really funny? You know what they think I have, Tyvis? A torn labrum in my hip. First of all, didn't know a torn labrum exists in the hip. Second of all, I still playing through my injury. So
you a Baker bro. Or a Baker sis.
Ooh.
I'm
I'm glad you didn't say ho. You could have went Baker bro, Baker.
Okay. Oh, you know what I meant to ask you? Did you have a Baker jersey?
No.
So your birthday coming up, right?
That's not funny.
I'm just saying you would want the Carolina 6.
You know who I want? You know who I met today for like a hot second? But I would like his jersey is Cade York. He was in our studio today.
No, I wanted to get you a Baker jersey. I'll go try to get him to sign it and all kind of stuff.
No, I have a
to my number one Baker sis, Holly Wetzel.
I was 100% his number one.
Your jump ship. You gotta ride it out.
I'm real, Tyvis.
You gotta ride it out.
Oh, ride with 6. Drops. Those stupid emojis that they put on their stupid profiles.
The funny thing is everybody was in that. Like everybody was the same. Like they was all behind.
Like, okay, well, welcome back to reality, right? Like I can say they're like, oh, when people come at me, they're like, oh, you loved him. I'm like, dig up all my tweets. I don't care. Yes.
Hey, they doing that. They doing you like that. They got the receipts on you.
Yeah, which people are just people need. Okay, they need hobbies.
This the thing. Anything that I've ever said, I stand on it. I wish somebody would dig something up and say, ain't this you? Yep. And I said it, and I still believe whatever I said.
Well, they do. They'll come back. All right. 2 last questions. Well, one, and then we'll get the predictions is really the last question. So what's your one word for this game?
My one word?
One word.
I don't have one word. I would have said redemption, but that's in favor.
I mean, it could be.
That's in favor.
Why could it not?
You know what it is? Redemption. It is redemption. You know why? Because as a defense, I think they still they're redeeming the fact that last year he quit on them. Like, and that's the part right there where I think that's where the animosity is, that he didn't play in that last game after he blew the whole season anyways. And he said, yep, all right, it's over with. I'm going to get surgery. And I think a lot of people felt some type of way. I know I would have felt some type of way. Like, bro, you done went ahead and played all these games hurt, and now we out and you can't play this last one? No, you like quit on us. So that's right there, I think, is why it means a lot, because however people want to spin it or not, at the end of the day, he did quit on his team.
Mm-hmm. All right, so redemption. You're going on redemption.
Yep.
All right. Mine is ugly. I just think it's going to be ugly. Any way you slice it, it's just going to be ugly. It's going to be, and this is leading into our predictions then, because I think it's going to be, I looked at other people's predictions and they're pretty high, like in the sense of points. I just don't see it being a really high scoring game.
I don't either. I don't see that either.
I'm thinking like a 14-10.
I wasn't going there. I got 21-17.
I think it'd be lower.
Nah, because Matt Rule, he gonna air the thing out. I mean,
yeah, but he's also relying on Baker to make some.
Baker looked good in the preseason, though. He did. Listen. You might hate him all you want, but you can't take away that man was making some throws.
All right, you think he's gonna score 21 points? At least.
No, he's 17 is what I said. 21.
Oh, you want Browns or take it? Okay.
Well, you got the Browns losing. Good Lord. God.
I don't want him to, but I do. I hope I'm wrong. Panthers are.
I see what you're doing there. I see what this is.
So it could go either way.
In your heart, you want the Browns to win, but in your mind, you saying that Carolina's gonna win. So either way it goes, if Carolina
there, right? That's a home field advantage. It does. We know how he plays when he's fired up like this. I mean, look, it would be, and our track record for winning openers is abysmal. So
what is Baker's?
What's Baker's for opening?
Mm-hmm.
In just the NFL?
Yeah.
I don't know.
0-4. That's what it is.
He didn't win one with us.
Something got to give. So somebody about to win their first one.
But you can't. With the Browns, it hasn't. I mean, we're still
something got to give
every year.
Listen, I don't know. See, the difference is not. This is the first year that the Browns really don't have a superstar like that outside of Nick Chubb on offense. Like, last year it was so hyped up because we got this great offense. We're going to score a lot of points. Now this year, they're not expecting that. Like,
we were stacked. We thought we were stacked in wide receivers. We thought Baker was coming off the best year.
Point exactly. This year, they're not thinking that. So now it ain't no hype behind it. It ain't no, like, y'all, we need y'all to just go out there and just game manage this thing. The defense is going to put y'all in position. Y'all just need to score. And that's what's going to happen. Like, it ain't no big names there. Like, it's nobody's getting all the attention. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not a lot of hype around the offense. And that's when you get surprised. When it's like nobody we ain't got nobody on offense, so we're not going to score a lot of points. Somebody going to step up and score some points for sure. Because it's not expected. Nobody has film on nobody. You don't know who they looking to go to. Like, because everybody's pretty much even.
Yeah, but we do know Baker. I mean, that's where I do feel like we do have an advantage.
You give him too much. You give him way too much credit. You Baker.
I'm giving him too much credit?
Yeah, you are.
Why?
You fear him.
I don't fear him.
You do fear him.
Oh, that's some big words.
No, you fear him in this game for some odd reason.
I don't fear him. I don't like to underestimate him, because he is so, the problem with him with the Browns last year too was that he was so unpredictable week to week. And that was really frustrating. We did not know what Baker we were going to get week to week. So like we're still in that territory with this first game. Like, I don't know what to expect from him. He could go out and like Oklahoma days, like flag planning, attitude, the whole
But
deal, right?
What
Or
the big
he can be as inaccurate as he's been on however many weeks.
no. That's not. I don't think it's gonna be.
Nine times a game.
I don't think it's gonna be any of that. I think he'll be very accurate. The problem is this at Oklahoma, and with the Cleveland Browns, it was one thing that he did have that was pretty good. He had offensive line. He does it now. That's a problem. Like that's going to be a problem. All I ask is if the defensive tackles come to play and can get some penetration down the middle, it'll be over with. Like it would be like stealing.
I hope you're right. I just it's going to be really interesting how game management for sure on both ends is going to be fun to watch.
The Browns 21-17, man.
All right. I mean, I can say 17-14. I just think it's going to be relatively low. I don't think it's going to get out of the teens, but
I think Seattle going to beat the Broncos too.
Are you a betting man?
Nope.
Betting?
Mm-mm.
You got your lineups set up, fantasy?
Mm-hmm.
I got to do that.
I got four of them.
All right, I got 2. That's plenty.
Hey, you know what? I actually got a CMC too, so hello.
Hello. Well,
hello. If he touched the paint one time, hello.
All right. Well, it's game week. I'm so excited. I mean, this is it. We're on now every week, and I'm like trying to find certain words right at the moment to describe just like what in the world we're gonna encounter.
It's
and
going
me being there in person is just gonna be fucking wild. Like I just I don't know. It's gonna be crazy. I'm excited to see these Browns fans show up that are down there, huge following. And it's going to be a crazy mix, right? Because you're going to have a lot of Baker fans there still too. Like it's going to be a really wild experience, and I just don't know what to expect.
You know what? While you're doing that, I'll be at the
Big Ten Network.
I'll be no. I'll be at the Browns training facility. I'm talking about on Sunday.
I know. I'm just talking
Browns
about
training facility. Calling the pregame show. Then I'll be watching the first half. And then I have to go downtown to the Fan and do post game with my boy Jeff. And I need them to do well because I have to answer questions and we take calls. So if they care about me and my sanity, they will have a great game. So the post game show could just go very smoothly.
Oh no! I used to one of my first jobs.
You go call it.
Oh yeah. I'll pretend I'm someone else. I'll disguise my voice like you did for me. I was one of the first jobs I had was at the time Fox Sports Ohio, when it existed, which is now Bally Sports Ohio, had a Browns call-in show, post-game show called Calls from the Pound. And I was the call screener for that. And I was like 22, 23 years old.
You let them come in and curse, huh?
Oh, well, it was talk about managing that whole situation. I don't wish that upon anybody trying to manage Browns fans posts. So I
need the person screening the call. We ain't doing no cursing. You ain't no curse. This is a family show.
Yeah. Well, I won't call in, I promise, but I definitely will be texting you about it.
Yeah. It's gonna be we're gonna have a great conversation. It's gonna be all positive. The Browns look great.
I could screenshot. Wish people could have seen this face that he just had. Well, we'll have definitely a lot to talk about next week. I'll be back. We'll be able to break down week 1, what happened when I was down there, all of the fun stuff, and then look to week 2, the home opener. Got the Jets.
Yes.
Jets. Jets.
I played for them. I actually got to play for both of the Browns and the Jets.
Look at you.
I know. It's part of the the 25% club. That's what I was in, the 25% club.
What, to play for?
I played for 25% of the league.
Oh. Oh, yes, you did. That's great. see why you know so much. All right. Well, we will be back next week for recap and week 2. So we'll be back every week Tuesday. This is exciting. Well, we are recording every Tuesday, but we're back every week. So make sure to like and subscribe. The Orange is Oranger, Cleveland Browns podcast. He is Tyvis Powell. I'm Holly Wetzel. Was that close enough to your impression?
No. He's Tyvis Powell. I'm Holly Wetzel. And go Browns.